Hey guys, what's up? It's Anwar here. Today I'm going to show you guys a very interesting automation which I built. It's one I basically use for all my businesses and also one which I sell to a lot of businesses. And I think you guys can sell as well. To quickly summarize the automation, it basically creates a high quality SEO optimized article within like 1.5 minutes. Very, very fast, and the results are absolutely insane, guys. It's a high quality article, I'm not lying. And I'm about to show you guys. So as you can see, our first trigger is the typeform trigger. So we're going to head over to our typeform. And it's going to ask us a few basic questions. So for this little demo, we're just going to write a blog post about AI automation for like a small business. It's going to ask how many words. I would say like 1800 words. Primary keyword we want to rank for. I would say like AI automation. Secondary keywords. Small business automation. Affordable AI tools. And then it's going to ask for any internal links for all the SEO people. You guys know this is very important. In this case, I'm just going to give it my own YouTube channel. And generally something you want to do as well is also give the AI some context based on any links you're posting. So in this case, I'm going to write down Neuroflow is a channel that does guides on AI automation, for example. And by doing this, we give the AI some context, you know, so it knows where to put it within the article. This is very important. And any external links, I guess we'll say like make.com, an AI automation platform. So now it's asking for any additional instructions. Within our case, we don't really have any additional instructions. But you can write here, for example, like be concise, or maybe you have a specific type of brand voice. This is the place to write it. So now it's going to run our automation. I'll be right back with you guys once it's finished, and then we'll go over the automation. So as you guys can see, our workflow has just been finished, and it should have created 3 documents for us. First of all, it should have created a Google folder for us to store our documents in. Then we create an outline documentation, which are these 2 nodes. And lastly, it should have created the articles itself, which is these 2 nodes. So now I'm going to the Google Drive. And as you can see, we have created a new folder with the title of our blog post. If I click on it, we see we have an outline and we also have an article. So let's take a look at the article itself. So here we have our article, guys, and as you can see, it's a beautiful written article. It's fully in Markdown. If you want it properly formatted, all we have to do is select everything, and then we want to right click and paste from Markdown, and it's going to properly format this for Google Docs. And yeah, guys, it's a beautiful written article. You can see it should have integrated our links right here. I can see make.com. Standard option is make.com. That's a great integration. And we also have our own YouTube channel properly integrated within the article. As you can see here, for practical hands-on practice, Neuroflow is an excellent resource. I hope I am, guys. And yeah, guys, that's the power of this automation. It creates a full blog article, very beautiful written. Something people want to read and which has some actual structure behind it. So now we're going to go over our automation real quickly, guys. As you can see, it's triggered by a typeform. But you can basically use any type of trigger you want. Maybe you want to have it scheduled. Maybe you want to use a different platform. And after the trigger, it's going to do a few things. First of all, it's going to add a new Google Sheet row. And secondly, it's going to read all the Google Sheet rows within our Google Sheet. So if I click on here, you can see that we use the variables from the typeform and we add those to the Google Sheet. We append a new row. So as you guys can see, here's our Google Sheet. It's nothing special. It's basically the same as the typeform. This is something you have to create yourself, but it's very easy. You just create a Google Sheet. Within the first row, you make sure we got the variables, the title, the word count, primary keywords, all that stuff. And this is the place where we basically store all our data, and we also use for the creation of the articles. Afterwards, we will use some JavaScript to get all the rows from the Google Sheet, and then we'll get the latest one, because this is the one we want to create an article for. Now we use an OpenAI node to write our outline based on the last row we got from our Google Sheet. So here's our OpenAI node, and as you can see, we properly instruct it. We use some prompt engineering to get a high quality outline. And as you can see here, we make sure it knows its role properly. It's a professional writer. We give it a few examples so we can guide it in the right direction. You always want to do this generally with any AI tool to make sure that the output is high quality. And here we basically feed it our Google Sheet rows, or latest Google Sheet row, should I say. We also ask the AI to write the article in Markdown, or not the article, but the outline. And why do we do this? Because generally Markdown is very flexible. You can always convert it to HTML, or you can also use it immediately to build a blog post. So now we're gonna go down here, and here we have some stuff happening as well. First we create a Google folder, and we name it based on the title of the article we're about to write, of course. And then we do something interesting. We create an outline doc, and we also create the outline itself. Now, why are the two notes necessary for this? Because within n8n, you first have to create the document, and then afterwards we can update the body of the document based on what we want to put in there. So we create the document, and then we update the body of the document with the outline we just wrote with OpenAI. Afterwards, we're going to do something interesting. We're going to create two variables. We have the outline, and we also have the lines. And especially the lines is very important because we're doing something interesting here. We're going to create an array based on all the lines of the outline. Sounds a bit confusing, but as you can see here, it's like split all up lines. It's going to create an item for each line. And there's a good reason why we do this, guys. So I'm going to go over it in a bit. And once we have all the lines, we want to process each line to see if it's a heading or not. And you're probably wondering, why are we doing this? Because once we have a heading that starts with a double hashtag, we want to mark it with an arrow. So that's what we're doing right here. We're looking for if it starts with a double hashtag. We want to mark it with an arrow. And we're going to create a variable that's called marked outline with the arrow. And this is the item we're going to feed in a new GPT node. And we're going to ask the AI to write only the section marked with an arrow. And by doing this, we give the AI a lot of context because it knows the article that came before it, the section, and it knows the section that came after it. And by doing this, we get very high quality results because the AI knows what it doesn't have to write. It knows what it's going to talk about in the future, what it's talk about in the past. And that's very important, guys. We also do some prompt engineering here. We want to make sure the AI knows its role. It's a professional writer. 20 years of experience, guys. That's a lot, you know. You should be pretty good. And here we basically ask it to only write the section marked with the arrow. We give it some tone requirements, like it should be conversational, Spartan. This works really well from what I've seen. And we also want it to avoid overused AI phrases like in today's world or science fiction, etc. I don't know why AI has the tendency to do this. It's people are aware of this, you know, so you generally want to avoid stuff like that. If you can just guide the AI in the right direction, it's outputting way better quality, you know. Here we give it the marked outline. So as you can see here, for example, for the introduction, we gave it the full outline. Then we gave it the introduction with the arrow. And the AI understands, okay, this is the section I have to produce. And this is only for one item, you know. For the next section, it would have gotten a full outline with another marked section. And that's the way it worked. So once it has finished producing all the sections, it's going to feed all the sections into the join section node, which is an aggregator. And as you can see here on the right side, it collected all the produced sections. So now all we have to do is make sure that all the appended sections get properly joined into a whole article. And we also want to get the introduction we made earlier. So we can do this easily with the help of some JavaScript. Within this script, we first get the introduction from the outline we made earlier. And we also want to make sure that all the appended sections join properly into a whole article. So that's what we're doing here. We're basically cleaning up the whole article and making it ready for production. And based on this, we're going to create the article documents, these two nodes. And that's it basically, guys. And from here, you can do anything you want. You can always, if you want to, you can like use Markdown to HTML to convert it to HTML. Maybe you're working with WordPress and you want HTML. You can keep it like Markdown for Webflow, for example. Maybe your website is Webflow. Or any other use case. You can even feed it into like an AI agent and do whatever you want, you know. So yeah, guys, this is our automation. It's a very good foundation. And I would say copy it, you know, use it for your own purposes. Hopefully you can even sell it to a few businesses. And if you have any questions or any thing that hasn't been explained, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I would love to help out. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video.